There we go. Good morning. Good morning. Alexa, volume down. Got the hang drum going in the back. Hang massive. And that'll be the next instrument I get. Be a little. So, just to let you know, fill you in on what's coming down the pipe. Good morning. I don't know why I always get on here and complain about my internet, but it is what it is. So we had Tilray is going crazy this morning. I hopped into SNDL yesterday at like 0.7025, and it's trading this morning pre-market about 0.85. So another day with a 20% banger. You see it's here on the top trending tickers too. So it is what it is. Pot stocks going crazy. So I like to see that. So the pot stocks were up on the news that House is going to introduce a bill for marijuana legalization on Monday. And look at Bitcoin popping up to 44,355 too. I mean, this is wild moves we've had this week, guys, because the price of these tech stocks going up, and I mean, you got the SPY at over 450 here in the pre-market, 451 in the pre-market. And we were looking yesterday that 450 was going back to February here, early February, that we hit this level. So we're approaching the top end of this range. This recovery's been incredible. It's, just absolutely insane of a V-shaped recovery here. We got over, the kind of those end of February lows there, and just kept going back up to the top of the range here, really from the start of the invasion. We started having the news talk about it, but before that, you're looking at end of the year, the SPY was 467. So we got to be realistic here. Now, the problem with being realistic is the market can stay wrong longer than we can stay solvent. So, it's one thing to expect something. It's another to expect it and just blindly hold and automatically think that you're going to be right. So, we can understand, hey, we're at the top of this range here. Even the futures will show you kind of we're hanging on that. Sorry, I didn't mean to go there. We're hanging on to that kind of 4,500 level on the ES. So, we're in our upper range on the futures as well. And, where are we going to get our positive catalyst in the market to bring us back? Think about what was going on when we were at all-time highs. On the SPY, sitting here at all-time highs, 470, 475. So, what was going on here? Not a whole lot. You had, end of the year, you probably still had some Omicron. We even had getting over Omicron here. So, we had a little bump up, in some of the travel names, some of that stuff, getting past Omicron, years in, New Year. And I actually think here in the beginning of January, maybe we started this Omicron dip. But, regardless, I think lots of other traders seems to be the unanimous understanding that until we get a positive catalyst in the market, I just don't see how we can get back to that level on the SPY. How we can push past this 450 level and get to like a 460, 470 level. I mean, our next level that we'll probably hit is like a 454. So, I mean, could we go hit 450, 454 here on the SPY today? We could. Again, I think we're at the top of a range here. And the more likely direction would be to recede a little bit off this crazy bounce we had. So be patient. Be patient is for sure the best advice right now. Like, I mean, AMD is at 120. AMD had a nice 5% day yesterday, and did really well. Looks good, right? Big strong move here, and then held this move, and it's good. Looks good. We were talking yesterday that I was liking the. I'll say that's wrong. We were talking yesterday that I kind of liked, and I do like the 114 level. So knowing that, knowing where your support is here, 114. Could we see it back down towards 110 again? Maybe. I definitely wouldn't chase it up here to 120. I think our kind of, maybe we get to 125. But either way, I'm not chasing this. I'd let this fall back down into the 114 range if you like AMD. Go back and watch one of my previous videos, probably the first or second one, where I really just give you all of my knowledge about AMD and the semiconductor industry as a whole. Let's just look at semiconductors. Let's see how they're holding up pre-market. Qualcomm is one I like to look at. They just make a lot of money. They're a leader in that space. NXPI, I like them. They got a nice share buyback program. Swedish semiconductor manufacturer. They're okay. I've invested in them before. Actually, pre-earnings, I think I did a little earnings gamble on them, and they had a really nice earnings from Q4. So I expect good things out of NXPI. Intel's had some good news this week, where you even saw NVIDIA talking about possibly partnering with Intel. For one of the pieces of their chip. And so Intel, like your TSM, is gonna just pretty much cover every sector, from the wafers, from GPUs, CPUs, to your power sources. So they got it all. They got it all. Intel's done really well the past couple days, but they've had some good news driving that recovery as well. Intel's a $55 stock. I mean, Intel historically has, liked this 55 range. So, pretty sure Intel pays a nice divvy. But it should easily recover that 55 range. But again, we've got to get back to a normal economic environment for some of these stocks to start trading where they normally or would like to be trading right now. They're all still super low. TSM had a really good day yesterday too. Marvell's another one I've invested in that I like, but your Marvell, your NXPI, they're going to be a little bit smaller. AMD is to me, the reason I like AMD is because it's It's got the best growth potential. It's got the best potential to expand sales every year, to expand their product offerings, and they're doing a lot of innovation. And especially after the Xilinx merger, I think we just see a lot of progress out of AMD. Where some of these people like a NXPI, they've got their set kind of sell their chip to an auto manufacturer and make $1 billion a year, $1 billion a quarter, and they've kind of got their business model set where AMD is I believe the going to be the best grower in this space. Speaking of growing, let's check on the sundial growers here. Back down below 85 cents. So incredible move yesterday. We saw the news announcement about right here, and this thing just took off. I was able to hop in early on the news hit, like 70. I think my average is like 70.49 or something like that. But insane move. TLRY, I believe they even had some more positive news today, and that's made them pop up like crazy in the pre-market as well. Although I'm seeing it on the scanner here, but really nothing crazy. I mean, they get this nice candle here and then it retraces. So TLRY could be one to watch. Let's see what news catalyst TLRY had. I thought I saw some type of acquisition, but maybe not. So scratch that. But just another pot stock there, And then I had my IMPP big winner from yesterday that I was telling you about, and I actually probably held it a little bit too long yesterday. Should have just sold it in pre-market, but I was expecting oil to, I was like, man, oil's staying high, it's chilling high. And then that price of Brent crude started falling off a little bit, and it took some of the oxys and the XOMs with it to an extent. I thought we were going to stay chilling in like that 121 area and hopefully maybe even pop back up to like the 125 that we saw, 123, Wednesday afternoon. Now watch it today. So we're almost back to the pre offering closed level. So before I tweeted this out Thursday, there was an offering in place which was designed to let an investment company buy up $60 million worth of shares at $1.60. So that's why it's pinned below $1.60 here, is because an investment company is gobbling up $60 million worth of shares, diluting it. Dilution ends, the announcement is made, and it shoots up. Wish I would have sold pre-market. I also am riding a high here that I'm like, and then we're right back here. I still have a nice, 50-cent winner, and then it kind of just tapers off the rest of the day. The price of oil, the price of Brent crude's dropping, the price of Oxy and XOM are dropping a little bit. And, I ended up, I think, getting out around 190 here. So maybe even when it popped back up here. But it was in the 190s. So, I probably lost about 10 cents that I could have kept. And then probably even tried to buy back in this morning. So it's at a 168 level right now. So getting back close to that offering price. Sundial here is kind of dropping hard, guys. I would be tempted to possibly buy some. But I may just look to sell what I have and buy back towards 80 cents. Just try to protect some of the profit from this yesterday, and only really buy back if I think it's gonna make another aggressive move again. I think where you get some of the aggressive moves with these low priced stocks is that it's easy for somebody to freak out. Like when this thing is going up like crazy, it's easy for somebody to freak out. Be like, oh, I need to put my bid for an offer at, 0.75 when the sales price is here at 0.72. So it's just gonna, drive up the price, which is good. We like to see that, but I think a lot of it is just FOMO, fear of missing out. So these people up the bid to try and catch the momentum, and it just continues the momentum, further fuels the fire, and these things can sometimes take off to then when you wake up in the morning, it's a whole new stock. It's got a whole new mentality. The momentum is not really there. So, I think again the same thing for IMPP here and SNDL is, we could even see what SNDL this do like what an IMPP did. Because we're probably not going to get any news today about that marijuana bill again. Now we could. I would suspect that Monday we get probably a little more update on it, since it should be being voted on Monday. But we can't foretell. I would look for momentum. Wait till you can see some momentum building for you to want to jump in. Again, we're only 12% pre-market here. So, this thing is falling off a lot. I don't think it goes below 80 cents. I'm going to be kind of targeting that 80 cent area. I may just go ahead and sell this right here and jump back in at 80 cents. I don't know. I just want to protect. I got a nice, nice 20% winner that I need to protect. So, but it is popping up. So maybe it could get some momentum again. I don't know. We'll see. It's all a gamble, folks. Play it safe, play it small, and live to play another day. You don't have to make a whole month in one trade. You don't have to make you're not going to double your money in one trade. So take little wins where you can, and then trade again another day. Now, if we do see a market reversal, so let's say we got the spot here at 450, and we just think that, hey, there's, the futures start going down, the SPY price starts going down. Again, we're overweight pre-market here. Hasn't really mattered much this week. I've talked about how I don't like green pre-markets this week, and all these stocks have been green pre-market and continued to done very well. So, shame on me for missing a dip buying opportunity, but I just don't like to chase. I just want it to come back down in a level that I like. What the heck is this? Remind me later. So I just want them to come back down to levels that I like. But my thought was, just to give you a little nugget, if anybody's listening, tuning in, go ahead and like the video, subscribe. But if we do start falling away from this 450 number, let's say, okay, market's reached the top of its range from a nice too long run, and the market's gonna tank today. Not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying we're at the top of a range. I'm not, and I know a lot of other traders aren't gonna go chase, Tesla here at 1013 to try and run it up to 1060. Tesla's just not going to go hit $1,100 today. It's not going to happen. So where are day traders going to be looking? They're going to be looking to, what I would think they're going to be looking to maybe potentially short some of these stocks. So we'll see. Again, like I said yesterday, watch Apple. Apple had a great day yesterday, and the market did well with it. So see what happens with Apple. See if they start to kind of take some profits on Apple and bring it down, because that will ultimately bring the SPY down, bring the NASDAQ down. And then if the SPY and the NASDAQ start coming down and some of these tech names are dropping, your Bears triple leveraged ETF could be a decent place to look. Just a decent place. Now, I expect if the SPY starts slipping, tech starts dropping, it's gonna mean these bond yields are going down, bond prices going up. Because this has essentially been, it's just been something I've been keeping an eye on. Again, we had the prices of them go up yesterday. Just like I said, the day before they went down. Yesterday they went up, which means the sale price of them was going down. And, this one kind of works in reverse, so don't really watch that. You'll see it's oftentimes going to be a reverse of these. But it's just some bond yields I'm looking at. The bonds have been going crazy. The bonds have been absolutely wild. So it would seem like something is. Look at that. I should have bought some sundial right there. Good thing I didn't at least sell. Now I might start. Look, this 88. Let's try to get to 0.88. It can get there fast, guys. This SNDL can get there fast. And we'll see that. I think they got earnings next week as well. Sundial's expected to have a big earnings report, I believe. So I don't know. Let's just look at some historical potential levels on SNDL and see where it has traded at when it likes to go above $1. So this thing hasn't been this high in a long time. It was in the 90s in November. And then, this thing wasn't in the dollar mark until summer of last year. And then did have a point in February of 2021 that almost hit $5. So is $5 in play for Sundial? I have no clue. That would be freaking sweet. It'd be a nice, couple 100% banger there. But we can't bank on that. So take what you can. See if you can get some momentum. See if you can trade some headlines. Look for the SPY and the S&P, NASDAQ. Look for a reversal from the top end of these markets. We should be getting an announcement today about U.S. helping Europe with energy to meet energy demands. So, see what that does to the price of Brent crude, the price of natural gas. The price of natural gas is through the roof right now. NG is the futures ticker. So Webull doesn't show me futures, so I use Yahoo. It's just easy for me. I don't know. I just got them all saved there, so I just go look at the futures on Yahoo. But you can probably look at them anywhere. And natural gas is $5.44 on the futures market right now, which is insanely high. But I think what the announcement's going to be is for the United States to help Europe with liquid natural gas production. Um, so see how that affects the price of natural gas. See how that affects the price of uh, Brent crude. Brent crude right now is fell back down to 116, 116.81. And then the ES is 4,525. So look for those to reverse. But again, maybe not. Maybe the market just keeps freaking ripping up, and that'd be nice. That'd be nice if you guys are along. We're about 2 weeks. This is exactly 14 days from the very first episode, and it's been a great 2 weeks for the market. If you're along, so it's been some runners the past 2 days that have been pretty nice setups, pretty easy to get into, but so we'll see. We will see. We will see how this thing goes today. If we get a reversal in the market, or if this upside trend continues. Again, we should be getting some. We should be getting some more information from this NATO summit in Europe. I believe it's in Brussels. So maybe it helps the market. Maybe that'll be the turning point in the market. Maybe that'll pop some of these oil stocks back up, your Oxys and your Exxons, and these are kind of my low price guys that I think could run. Uranium. So Russia and Ukraine are big exporters of uranium, which is used to help fuel our nuclear power plants. And uranium is a Canada. It's a states-based, either Canada or United States uranium producer. And they had a great day yesterday. I hopped in here in the morning, like 960. 960 was my average, and held it. Thought about selling it at 970, and then the thing just shot up into the day. I sold it 1019. So I'm pretty happy with that one. Not too happy with how long I held IMPP. And then obviously I'm very happy with Sundial Growers here. But let me know what you think about Sundial. Should we sell? Should we hold? IMPP. It's getting close. 166 is IMPP. It's hopefully oil can pop today. So if you are looking at IMPP, now a lot of the reason that it's dropping this morning is because the price of oil has dropped a little bit. So 116.96, the price of oil has dropped a little bit. Now natural gas is up, and I believe IMPP also is a transporter of liquid natural gas, and we should get an announcement today from this NATO summit about the United States helping out with some of the natural gas crisis that we're going to see in Europe. So natural gas price is high. Brent crude. Watch these. I would watch your Oxys and your XOMs. This IMPP did trade in somewhat correlation with Oxy yesterday. So see what some of these do. See what some of these do. We're getting close to that pre-offering level. That offering closed right here on Wednesday, I believe, and we're at the 156 level. So we're getting back close to that level. I think we've got to see a correction in oil. So thank you for the question, Mateus. Glad you're here. Tune in. Just watch it today. It can definitely move quick and in a hurry, but again, I was just explaining that I think that's why a lot of these low price stocks move, because it's just so easy to get caught in momentum to the upside or the downside. So you've got to be just as careful to the downside, because when these things move, they move fast, because it's so easy to up the bid. It's so easy to say, oh man, IMPP is moving. Instead of trying to get filled at 165, I'm going to just move the bid up and try to get filled at 167. And then now that sell price jumps up to 167. So, thank you. And we'll go from there. Anything else that anybody is looking at? I'm looking at the scanner behind me. Tilray is the only thing I see on there. I'm already in a pot play this morning, so take deep breaths. Tune in with yourself. You'll be able to take in information today and make some money. It's Friday. Beautiful day out there. If you need a good breath exercise, 10 breaths in, 10 breaths out, repeated. Hold the final exhale out as long as you can, and hold the final inhale in as long as you can. That is the Wim Hof breathing method. SNDL popping up here. So somebody's buying this stock, guys. Now we can look. I'll show you here the level 2. And so you see this person has size on the ask right now. What you'll see as the day goes on, and this person right here is just wanting to get filled cheap shares. That's it. They're setting their bid there so that people will file in under their ask price. And then you see the size here. You see how there's only 100, 600, 700 sell blocks on the ask, and you've got size on the bid of 3,500, 1,200, 2,700. So that's showing me size on the bid here. I want to see that size on the bid. This is just somebody putting up a wall so they can get these cheap shares. Somebody wants to keep, probably the same person and probably similar people that wanted to buy up as much down here below this offering price. Because, look at what Goldman Sachs, listen to what Citibank and some of these investment companies are talking about in regards to oil. So they're expecting the price of oil to hit 150. They're expecting the price of oil per barrel to hit 200 to 500. So that would be unprecedented, to where we only saw Brent crude hit 130. And that's probably why I held on to IMPP a little bit longer, because yesterday we were in these 120s and I was like, oh man, maybe we can get back to 130 a barrel, and maybe Oxy and XOM are going to keep going up. I even tried to chase. I even tried to keep averaging down in Oxy yesterday, just expecting a pop back up in oil. And Oxy just kind of kept slowly descending all day. So I mean, we can overlap these two charts and just put them on the same time frame. And I mean, you got similar charts there. Similar. I'm gonna put IMPP over here so it's not blocked by my pixelated head. So you see these two charts look similar, and that's just because they were following this price of oil here. And that price yesterday just kind of started off nice 122s and just kind of slowly descended during the day. And it's to be expected. So look for a reversal of oil. Look for a reversal in Oxy, Petroleum, and ExxonMobil. And, you know, again, similar charts. I mean, all these oil and natural gas kind of stocks are going to be somewhat correlated to being based on how energy is doing. And that'll just be the name of the game there. But keep an eye on those. If the SPY, again, we're at the top of the range on the SPY. So, I mean, if you're looking at the SPY, 450 was back in end of January, beginning of February level before the invasion. So we're back at the before the invasion price on the SPY and the NASDAQ. Do we have positive news and get any positive momentum to push us back to the highs? I don't think anybody is expecting that right now. But again, the market can stay wrong longer than you can stay solvent. So just because you think something doesn't mean the market's going to react to how majority of traders are thinking. The market, it wants to make its money. So it wants to get somebody's money somewhere. And that is why you can't just continue to hold belief that these are going to do what you expect them to do, because the market can stay wrong longer than you can stay solvent. So it may be the right idea that the SPY is going to come down, that oil is going to continue, oil is going to go back up. So it would make sense to think that, hey, SPY is going to fall. Oil, Oxy, natural gas, energy companies are going to go back up. But again, the market can stay wrong longer than you can remain solvent. So don't, it's great to expect something. We've got to try to predict on the stock market, just the same way as you try to predict whether a team is going to score more points than the other team and put dollars on it. But, if it doesn't go your direction, don't be scared to cut your position and trade another day. Time in the market is more important than timing the market. There will be another trade. It's Friday. If you miss a trade today and you make a move, it goes wrong and you need to cut bait. So IMPP is popping up here. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. We're going to look closely at that. Keep an eye on it. But, I mean, it's at pre-market lows. I'd probably wait till the opening bell to give you a little bit of liquidity in and out. Just to give you a little bit more. But, I mean, you got a little liquidity if you needed to get in and out. So let's say you hopped in right here at 164, 165. You've got people that are going to buy it at 163, 162. So if it, for some reason it didn't go your way, you could put a stop limit in at 160 and you get filled. So you could, IMPP is going to trade enough shares where you could get in and out pre-market if all of a sudden you get in at 164, 165 and it goes the other direction at open. You could probably get out pretty quickly. So um, if you haven't sold yet, if your average is 210 and you haven't sold yet, what would I do? As it drops another point. Keep watching Brent Crude. Keep watching Oxy and XOM. That's a tough one. I think it's a tough one. I had to get some coffee and think on that. I don't mind the average down thought. It's the right idea. It's the right idea. But like I was saying, you can have the right idea and the market can still make you wrong. Your idea can be 100% correct. I agree with you. There is no way that the price of energy should be going down. The Ukrainian ships are stuck at the port. There's no import and exports coming out of Russia and Ukraine right now, who I think are the third largest oil exporter. So, analysts are calling for $150 to $200 a barrel. At this point, you may have to just hold. See what happens at the open. I would at least see what happens at the open. If we dip further than this, maybe you could get a little, average down. It gets you a nice like 180, 185 position. I think 180 is not a bad price point for IMPP. So I'm not sure if you had all the money in IMPP at 210, or if you maybe still have half left. But if you could potentially get that average down to 180, obviously you're going to feel a little bit more comfortable in your position. So I hope that helped. I don't see anything else right now that you could sell that and make a better return on your investment. I think the move on some of these pot stocks are already happened. So 163. Let's keep an eye on the level 2 here for you. And we'll see. I don't know what you use to trade if you've got access to look at this level 2, but there has been a big size person here, and he'll flip. He will flip from this ask size to this sell size. He's just got his size wall over here just so that, either himself or he's getting some of his buddies filled right here. Because think about what would you do if you had infinite amount of money and you wanted to buy cheap shares, I don't see it going lower than 150, Mateus. I think um, we saw that price before the offering here. So the news that was keeping it down at this price was the $60 million offering to Maxim Group. And then once that closed, it took off. But imagine if you're Maxim Group or if you're an investment company and you want a lot of shares of IMPP. You're not going to care if it goes lower, because maybe this person probably wants to keep this price down because they want to keep collecting shares in this 155 to 160 range, just like they did here. So probably just gonna have to be patient. I don't think we've seen the last of oil. I was when I had tweeted about IMPP yesterday, or excuse me, the day before when the product offering closed, it was the fact that oil and natural gas are going to continue to remain a hot topic of discussion. We're not at a global trade war yet. So you're 100% correct about that we're in a global trade war, and oil, natural gas, uranium, wheat, fertilizer, neon, some of the bigger exports from Ukraine and Russia should continue to be polarizing topics of discussion. But could a stock do anything? Absolutely. It's all good. All good. I appreciate the conversation and the asking of questions, and follow me on Twitter. I think I have some Twitter links in there somewhere. Like and subscribe on the video. This is my second week starting this channel, and I'm going to continue to be watching oil. You see oil. I got a lot of these energy names at the top of my list here. IMPP and U.S. Well Services were two that both had very similar setups. And I just like when cheap shares get some momentum. And so even just had this IMPP pop up. Got a weird little candle here. Weird little candle. Even a little more volume on that. So you just got to hold at this point. You're just gonna have to wait it out. You're gonna have to wait for that energy. And honestly, I wouldn't even average down right now. I would just kind of see where this thing rides out to today. See what happens today. Because it's gonna get some activity. There's people buying this, so you ain't the only one buying it. I'm gonna probably try to hop in here today. I just need to see some positive momentum in Oxy and XOM, and then I need to see some positive momentum here in Brent crude, and see it's even kind of lowered down a tick. So could it go down to 115? I think 115 would be as low as we see on BZ. What's interesting is natural gas should still be through the roof. And this is what's going to hurt Europe, is this natural gas price. Now, I believe this is what we're going to have some announcements later on today about the United States helping to offset some of the liquid natural gas that Russia has depleted from the global trade. But I think natural gas is already pricing in a possible ban from Russia or some things like that. So this might already be priced into the announcement today, and we'll see if this oil price is already priced in, or if it's not going to go back up till next week. So just had to wait and see what today brings. But again, my opinion is that we're at the top of a range. We're at the top of the range on the SPY and in the futures. I think the 4,500 level, you can even look at the NASDAQ futures and get an idea for this top level here that we're at. Wow, so NASDAQ futures are up, man. I mean, this NASDAQ future hasn't hit this high in, hit the 1500s beginning of February. Again, this is kind of the price this is the point that we're at, those 450 levels on the SPY. So we're at the top of this range here. And until we get news of ceasefire or peace, I don't see us going back to all-time highs. So I'm expecting a little bit of a trend reversal here. A little bit of a trend reversal on the SPY and the NASDAQ. And, at least a leveling off, or I'm expecting some sort of drop. I'm hoping to get AMD back at like a 114 level. I'm hoping to get, SoFi might be in its own little world now, but below $10. Square, I'm hoping gets back down below 125. So I'm not chasing any of my tech names today, as I'm expecting a reversal. And honestly, I'm hoping the oil names pop. I think the pot stocks, I'm probably gonna sell out of Sundial here and try to get back into IMPP here. Especially if we get any reversal on the SPY and we get any type of acceleration to the upside in these oil names here. So watch Oxy, watch XLM, watch your oil futures, and then watch for the SPY reversal. So when the SPY has been coming down, your oil names have been doing well. So it's been correlated. It's been correlated. Now, sometimes when a name like Oxy or XOM is doing well, it can try to bring the market up. But let's see if we can, overlay these charts to give a side-by-side comparison. And Mateus, I'm not in AMC or GME. I trade them. I like them. But definitely don't chase AMC or GME right now. Definitely don't chase these because they just had some of the craziest moves that they've had in the last 2 years. So, I mean, they've just increased, 40%, over 40% from below 100, from 80. So they've increased 50% here in the last 2 weeks. This gap is going to get filled back to the downside. GameStop, I just bought this microphone from GameStop. I like GameStop, but the physical store is going away, and it's going to hurt their sales. Maybe they get into some NFT marketplace stuff, but this is priced higher than AMD right now, which I know AMD's future growth and future outlook is secured. I don't even know if GameStop is going to be a company in 5 years. AMC could probably hang on. Movies are coming back, but we'll see. Yeah, link me something. We're gonna look to see if oil and the SPY were inversely correlated. So 17th. Oh, excuse me, that's not the SPY. We're up here. So this is really where we started to have this move, this crazy up move on the SPY. And this is why I don't know if it will correlate, because this move was just very different with your tech names going up. Your Tesla was running like crazy. Square was running like crazy. So you had a lot of tech names really going crazy. And then it really wasn't until this week, beginning of the week, that you had oil kind of getting back to some of the levels that you saw the first week of the invasion. Warren Buffett buying IMPP. I know Warren Buffett bought Oxy. And that's why I look here, just because Oxy is getting a lot of attention. Excuse me, I already got Oxy chart up here. Oxy is getting a lot of attention. I know Icar, I forget his first name, but Icar, another legendary investment, sold Oxy. So he sold out of his oil stock. And at the same time, Warren Buffett was buying into Oxy. So I know Warren Buffett has bought Oxy. So he is invested in the oil names, and that makes sense. And you've got Goldman Sachs, you've got some of these people expecting oil to go to $300 a barrel. Then it would make sense. I don't think the war ends this weekend. Let's put it that way. So your oil, natural gas should continue to see some positive movement, and IMPP is just in a great price. Even your $2 price, I don't think is bad. So just hold. I mean, you already see it's popping up here. I think if we can get momentum past, back past a 180, I think the 180 level will be key. And I thought realistically, with the offering, let's try to get some more news on them buying more ships. So what they do is they transport oil and natural gas. So hopefully they'll buy some more ships. Pop in IMPP. No, the pop in IMPP was an offering they had. So they had their stock was doing really well, right? It was doing, that's Oxy. I think IMPP even hit like close to $7 or something crazy. So what we had was the stock was doing really well. They come out with an announcement. Must have been this day, either overnight or this morning, that they were going to be offering $60 million worth of shares to an investment company at $1.60. So that meant that Maxim Group was going to be buying $60 million worth of shares at $1.60. So that's why the price goes like a heat-seeking missile to $1.60, because somebody's buying 60 million shares worth at this price level. So that's why the price level stays here. And then what we had in this pop was the announcement closed. Maxim Group had bought all $60 million worth of their shares that they agreed to buy at $1.60. And so now essentially the roof on the stock was lifted. There was nothing, it wasn't being diluted anymore to keep it under $1.60. So it went crazy. It coincided with a nice little high oil price. And then yesterday we just saw Oxy and we saw XOM and we saw the price of oil fall. So it's still not a bad investment. It's not a bad investment. I actually like the research I did on the company. They do have an earnings coming up. We could be seeing a potential announcement of maybe expanding their fleet with some of the money they've got. So they just got $60 million from this company. Now, what do they do with it is the question. And hopefully they get some good news as to the direction of the company. So take that to the bank. I have got to go sell some trucks today. I'll have to go sell some trucks. Good luck to you. I'll be talking a little bit more about IMPP, so we'll see. Cannabis popping. Love you guys. Have a great day.